Once again, it's time for the Ghostbusters PJs. Hi again, I'm Ryan, your host for The Toast, and we're going to be talking about Ghostbusters. And I honestly don't see why people are being so vitriolic about this movie, especially without even seeing it. I mean, it's actually not bad. Now, I admit, I bought into all the negativity. I'd heard all the rumors, I've heard the spoilers, and I went into this expecting the worst. But you know what? It's fine. No, it's not the best movie in the world, but it's certainly not this evil feminist tragedy that everyone online is making it out to be. Now, I'll do a spoiler review on the weekend, but for now I'll tell you the story. Yes, it does heavily mirror the original Ghostbusters, but you know what? That didn't stop Star Wars. So we start off following Kristen Wiig's character Erin Gilbert on her struggle through academia after writing a book about ghosts that kind of discredits her. She writes the book with McCarthy's character Abby Yates. They reconnect, they meet Holtzman. More on her later. They finally meet Leslie Jones's character as Patty, the savvy New Yorker. They're off to form the full Ghostbusters and thwart an evil madman from unleashing an army of the dead on New York City. Cast-wise, the four ladies were effective, funny, and worked really well together, and it was great seeing Patty as a normal human being instead of the stereotypical loud black woman that the trailers made her out to be. Although her belt buckle at one point did read, "Oh no you didn't," which was kind of a step back. But the standout had to be Kate McKinnon. She stole the show as Holtzman, and her manic contempt for the rest of the world really was a joy to watch. At first I thought she was going to be way too silly with all her kind of funny like motions and whatnot, but she quickly showed a method to her madness and was the best part of the movie. Ooh, although I could argue that Chris Hemsworth was also really good as Kevin. Yes, the gender flip is complete with Chris Hemsworth as their secretary Kevin, and he is just hysterical. The only problem was he was so unbelievably stupid that it was just that. It became kind of unbelievable at times. Regardless, he made me laugh, and his comedic value is definitely going to be recognized after this movie. Now, comparing the new Ghostbusters to the original movie is unfair. I mean, it's gonna happen, but it's unfair. This new one is primarily a comedy, whereas the original was a much darker, quirkier, even scarier flick. And women can get away with jokes that men cannot do. And because of that, the humor is kind of jarring. It's different, and it is fresh, especially for a male audience member. Now, with 30 years of advancements in filming technology, this movie is very rich in color and very generous with ghosts and its use of proton packs. You remember the original movies, the proton packs didn't get nearly as much use, especially for when you're a kid and you want to see them slinging lasers around. In this one they do it all the time, and it's a blast. Although collateral damage was emphasized a lot more in the original. I mean, the guys never fired plasma over their friends' heads down a narrow hallway. Friendly fire, people, friendly fire! I mean, even Egon in the original said that stuff will burn your face off. Now, unfortunately, today's audience always wants bigger, better, and faster. So this movie does jump over a lot of the boots on the ground work that the guys did, and instead goes from scientists to Ghostbusters to big finale really quick. I mean, Holtzman builds everything for everyone, and even the car, in about 2 days. The story moves forward so quick that there's no time for busting. I think they only busted one ghost. And not just busting, I wanted to spend more time with these characters. Like I said, these ladies worked really well, and I'd like to see more of them do their job. I gotta say, it's a shame we see the same big finish that we see copy and pasted into every action movie nowadays, complete with quick fix ending. But I gotta say, Ghostbusters makes the best use of 3D in a movie that I've ever seen. It's blatantly obvious that this movie wants to pay homage to the original as much as it can, and it's very strategic in where it places its little cameos and references. For the most part, they're more dialogue-based references and kind of funny little quips, but when you do get into the cameos, most of them I thought were pretty underwhelming, especially given, like, they're the original Ghostbusters. I mean, they're all in here. Yes, even Harold Ramis, and I think his cameo was probably the most tasteful one of them all. That being said, I'm really glad that this movie didn't rely on all the references to the past movies and really did try to make it their own, but they definitely used the references as stepping stones. And you really can't blame them for that. They're trying to base a franchise over a really popular classic film. In the end, I enjoyed this movie. I didn't think I would, but I did. I think it's because I understand that the original movie is safe. Nothing's going to take that away from me, or the fantastic childhood that I shared with Venkman, Winston, Ray, and Egon. Now, this new version of Ghostbusters definitely did suffer from poor direction and very loose storytelling, but it equaled out with the amount of fun that I was having. That's why I'm going to have to say this movie is toast and jam.
Jammy.
Sure, it's sticky and crummy and there's a mess surrounding it, but you can't argue with the flavor. Really, there's nothing wrong with this movie apart from bad marketing on Sony's part and misogynistic man-babies crying on the internet. Frankly, yes, its quick fixes and lack of narrative are covered up by comedy and good music. Admit it, the Ghostbusters theme is baller, whether it be the original or this tweaked new version. Sure, it's flawed, but you're going to have fun with it either way, and I'm sure they're going to make up for it later in the franchise. Anyway, spoilers to come, but if you want to see more from me before then, click away, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers! I love the way that women in this movie are not sexualized, and I'm right in the fact that when I did my trailer review, I said that Holtzman is going to be the hot one. And what makes it even better is that everyone who's going to be lusting over her, Kate McKinnon is a lesbian, so unless you're a woman, you're out of luck.